Hello, and welcome to Calm Chronicles. There are places on this earth that do not feel like they belong to our time. They are echoes, whispers from an age of myth, carved not just from the world, but into it. Today, our journey takes us deep into the heart of the Jordanian desert, to a place hidden from the world for centuries, a place guarded by towering walls of sandstone, a secret metropolis known only as Petra. They call it the Rose-Red City, half as old as time. But even that beautiful phrase doesn't capture the magic. This is not a city that was built. It is a city that was unveiled, a masterpiece sculpted from the living rock. Our story begins not with a city, but with a journey. To find Petra, you must first walk. You must follow a path that the desert itself seems to want to hide. This is the Seek. It is not a canyon carved by a river, but a tectonic fault line, a crack in the Earth's crust, stretching for more than a kilometer. As you walk, the world outside disappears. The sky narrows to a thin blue ribbon far above. The temperature drops. The only sound is the echo of your own footsteps and the whisper of the wind. A sound that the ancient Nabataeans must have heard as they guided their caravans, heavy with frankincense and myrrh, through this very passage. The Seek is a corridor of anticipation. It twists and turns, protecting its secret. The rock walls here are not just barriers, they are a canvas. You can see the remnants of water channels carved into the sides, a clue to the genius of the people who lived here. They were masters of water, in a land that had none. You walk, and you wonder, what could possibly lie at the end of such a dramatic entrance? And then, you see it. It appears like a vision. Bathed in sunlight, framed by the dark canyon, stands Al-Khazneh, the Treasury. This is the face of Petra, an impossibly intricate facade, 40 meters high, carved directly from the sheer sandstone cliff. It is a breathtaking paradox. It is monumental in scale, yet delicate as a work of art. For centuries, travelers believed this magnificent structure held the treasure of a pharaoh, hence its name. But the treasury is a beautiful misunderstanding. It is not a bank vault, it is a tomb, a final resting place for a Nabataean king, designed to awe any who entered his hidden kingdom. And this is only the entrance. The Seek is the opening sentence, and the treasury is the first stunning illustration. But the rest of the book, the city itself, is still waiting to be read. Who were these people capable of such a feat? They were the Nabataeans, a nomadic Arab tribe who, over 2,000 years ago, emerged from the desert and chose this near-inaccessible valley as their capital. They were merchants, the gatekeepers of the ancient world. Their genius was twofold. First, they controlled the spice trade. Every camel caravan carrying precious incense from Arabia to the Roman Empire had to pass through their lands. Petra became a wealthy, cosmopolitan crossroads of culture, a place where Greek, Roman, and Eastern ideas met in the middle of the desert. But their second, and perhaps greater, genius was their mastery of water. In a land that receives almost no rain, the Nabataeans engineered a miracle. They carved intricate networks of channels, dams, and vast cisterns, catching every precious drop of flash flood water and piping it throughout the city. They didn't just survive in the desert, they thrived. They had lush gardens, flowing fountains, and even a swimming pool. They turned this barren rock into a vibrant, living oasis. As you move past the treasury, the valley opens wide, and you realize Petra is not just a few monuments. It is a sprawling metropolis of the dead and the living. Thousands of structures are carved into these cliffs: tombs, temples, houses, and halls. The Street of Facades is a row of towering mausoleums, each a doorway to the afterlife. Further on, a massive theater, large enough for 8,000 people, but unlike the Romans, who built their theaters with stone blocks, the Nabataeans carved theirs out of the mountainside, chiseling away an entire hill to create the seats. Everywhere you look, The line between nature and architecture is blurred. The city does not sit on the landscape. It is the landscape. To truly understand Petra, you must climb. There is another masterpiece, hidden high above the main city, far from the crowds. It requires a journey within a journey, a climb up 800 steps, carved into the side of a mountain. The climb is a meditation. With every step, the city below grows smaller, and the silence of the high desert grows louder. And when you reach the top, breathless, you are rewarded. This is Ad-Deir, the monastery. Larger even than the Treasury, it faces the setting sun, glowing gold and orange in the late afternoon light. It is a place of profound peace and monumental scale. Up here, you can understand the Nabataeans' connection to the sky, the sun, and the stone. You are on top of the world. So what happened to this great city? Why did it become lost? Petra's fate was tied to the very trade that gave it life. As the Romans shifted trade routes to the sea, the desert caravans dwindled. Then, in 363 AD, a catastrophic earthquake struck, toppling many of its freestanding structures and crippling its vital water system. The city's pulse slowed. Its population drifted away, and slowly, the desert reclaimed it. For more than 500 years, Petra faded from the memory of the outside world, becoming a secret known only to the local Bedouin tribes who sheltered in its empty tombs. It remained a secret until 1812. A young Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, a scholar of Arabic, was traveling in the region. He had heard rumors of a fantastic lost city hidden in the mountains of Wadi Musa. Disguised as an Arab traveler, he convinced a local guide to take him to the tomb of Aaron, the brother of Moses, which he knew was nearby. His guide led him, reluctantly, through a narrow, dark canyon. Through the Sikh, we can only imagine what Burckhardt must have felt at that moment. The moment he stepped out of the shadows and laid his eyes upon the treasury, he had rediscovered a wonder of the world. He had walked into a myth. Today, Petra is no longer lost, but it has not lost its mystery. To visit is to feel humbled. Humbled by the artistry of its creators, humbled by their resilience, and humbled by the awesome power of the landscape they called home. It is a city of stone, but it tells a story of water and of life. It is a city of the dead, but it remains vibrantly alive in the glow of the morning Sunday. It is the rose-red city, an echo in the rock, a chronicle carved in stone.